Welcome to Weary Wolf Adventures. Today is the start of the bank holiday and I have actually purchased a mic. So before I do an MRE video, I thought I'd just share with you this year's small amount of vegetable growing that I'm doing in my small little garden. So I just thought I'd go through all the things I've planted up and then we can come back end of summer and review the progress. First of all, in the living room, because I like to take over the house with veg growing, I've got 2 trays of cut and come again lettuce, 2 varieties, which seem to like being on the windowsill in the living room, and it stops them from all the slugs and snails getting to them and the caterpillars. It's a bit of a win-win. In the kitchen, I grow microgreens. I've let these grow on a little bit more to use as salad leaves. I've got a new crop there of red cabbage, purple broccoli. That's a mixed lot in there. I've got a row of jalapeno peppers on the go. So in the autumn, end of spring, we can do some pickled jalapenos. And then I've got some more mixed microgreens. This is the second batch of microgreens. So these ones I've let grow on for a more leafier crop. And then we just eat our way through the microgreens. It's something this year which has been really good. Really easy crop to grow. Just stuck on my Crocs and socks, ready to take you out into the garden because I'm incredibly fashionable. So there's little weary wolf. Oh, good morning. Are you okay? We'll go for a walk later. Yeah. I've got cherry tomatoes growing. Bush variety. Giant sunflower. It's been eaten a little bit. I don't use pesticides in the garden. More tomatoes. Pull these out of the way. And chuck some spring onions in here. They're quite hardy. Just leave them in. Give them a water and let them grow. You can already smell, just by brushing them, you can smell the onions. More tomatoes. There's my other little furry companions. Storm. Good boy. And Kylo. You just had breakfast, so you're chilling in the sunshine, aren't you, my boys? Yeah, you are. Good boy. This one might be a bit controversial with garden growers, but I've actually allowed wild stinging nettles to grow up on the side of the fence because I use them for cooking. Might do a video on stinging nettle soup at some point. And I've got some apple mint. This is a really voracious variety. I grow it in old tyres. I put plastic liner to obviously stop them all the water draining out of them. Did originally have it in a pot, but I'll show you how voracious the roots can be. So this is the pot it was in, and there's a root clump there. It's just some lugs there, but it's grown right into the ground. I'm pulling as hard as I can on that. Can't even break it out. These are my I've got a strawberry bed made out of old pallets. These strawberries I just leave every year. I just chuck a load of compost from my 2 compost bins. So I fill these up over the year. And then I just chuck them on top of my veg patch. And these strawberries are really prolific. They just come back every year. Don't really do much with them, to be honest. I just pull the odd weed out as I find it, like so. And then they set off new shoots. And each year, get more and more strawberries. In the UK, strawberries can be quite an expensive crop. There's new shoots there. So, quite like growing easy to grow, come again crops. This I cut back last year. I might have cut it back a bit too hard. Pull them weeds out. This is my lavender bed. I cut them back. Obviously these two have come back somewhat. And then this one's died. This one's not coming back. Pull that out. And then we have blueberry bushes. Again, quite like the fact that I can just leave them alone. Each year they come back and they produce a healthy amount of berries. See if we can get that in the shop for you. Lots of berries. That's what I'm growing this year. It's not a massive amount because we haven't got a massive garden. Kids got a large trampoline. When they outgrow that, I'm hoping to put a small greenhouse in. Grow some cucumbers and stuff like that. That's my humble little patch of ground. Like I said, I just like to keep my fingers green. Try and grow a few things every year. Experiment. Have a quick look at the seeds I've got as well. Got some more tomatoes to plant later on as summer kicks in. Some extra spring onions for a second crop. In fact, I might get some of these planted out this long weekend. And then we've got what's left of the jalapeno peppers for next year. So just showed you the garden. I pulled out that herb bush and it got me thinking, I think we're going to go to the garden centre and actually get a couple more berry bushes. So I thought I'd just include that in the video because I can. And so we're going to go do the tip run, get rid of that, and then we're going to go to the garden centre. I'll take you along with me so we can have a little look around, see what's going on, pick out a few bushes, and then maybe come back, plant them. So yeah, good start to the bank holiday. Have I got permission to go buy some berry bushes?
Yes.
Yay! I'm going to get all the rubbish which I cleared out from the shed over the last couple of weeks down to the tip. Then we're going to go to the garden centre. So let's get going. Nerf guns there. Do you want this cat? No. You sure? This is nice. You could put rum in it. Sure you don't want a pond?
Taking up enough on my garden space with your allotment. Oh, Bradley bike, Werner. I know, Rally bike.
Yeah, no, they're nice. Bike. They know their value in this place, so.
Yeah. Rally bikes were the one back in the day.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing I was on about buying to put.
The shed.
Yeah, but I think they actually use them. I've asked before.
Oh really?
Yeah. Compost bins there, look. Not really anything today, is there?
No.
That was the tip run we just did. You just book a slot for half an hour, and then they've got a reuse shop, which is like a recycling shop but there was nothing really we wanted there. Well, I wanted the pond, but you said no. But yeah, it's a good little method to recycle stuff and make a little bit of money for the guys who work in it. Let's get out of here. That's the kind of van I was thinking of getting.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the ballpark size you were thinking
Yeah.
of? Oh, it's Lucy! This is what I wanted to make.
Yeah. Errands.
$26.99. We could find some old glass vases and corks and we could make some of them, couldn't we? Nice.
Pizza.
I love the fact that you can see with the lid down. They sell like everything in this place, don't they? Toys, candles. Ooh. So they've got 70% off on the onions and stuff. I think it's because it's just at the end of when you can put them in. So these are like 120 and it's like loads of different onions. I might get some of these and stick them in that spare veg patch.
Yeah.
That they're starting to grow, but that's actually a sign that they're good.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Bargain. These are wicked.
Yeah. But I was just like,
Cold frames. I was talking on the video earlier when I was filming in the garden. Said, look, I'm waiting for the kids to grow up so I can get rid of the trampoline. I'll compromise on one of them next year, though. It's a nice garden centre, isn't it? It's nice spending time with you as well. I think I hacked back my lavender too much last year. It's struggling to come back. One of them's died.
oh no.
I'll give the other two another year to recoup, and if not, I might be replacing them and learning my lesson. Everything's the hard way with me. Yeah, because someone said that they grow more prolific and dense if you cut them back, but I clearly went on a mad one.
Yeah, a bit snippy.
Snip happy, that's the one. The berry bushes are over this side. Look at these cool statues. I found me. Here. There's me. Where's the wizard? I'm a mix between this bad boy and this old boy. And I found you. There. There's you. Yeah. Some reduced tomato plants which don't look very happy. I've got loads of seeds to replant up anyway. So Vic, I was thinking raspberry bushes. What do you reckon? At the allotment. And then I transferred it over and it wasn't very happy. Someone's laughter. Someone's having fun in the kitchen. Do you want a bit of cake? They look lovely though, don't they? Wowzers. Be good, Carl, be good. Comfort. Nice. And I've got a tropical refresher. And bought a few little jars of honey for 79. Was it 79p? Wasn't it? Gonna stick these in some homemade MRE kits I'm making. Cheers. After we've had our drinks, just gonna get some manure to put in the bottom of the raspberries when we put them out, just to give them a head start. Up there, look. You grab one of them. Chuck some sulfate and potash in the soil with a bit of compost, and that'll just give it a really good boost. So I'm back from the garden centre and also nipped to the gym for a cheeky little training session. And now I'm going to go ruining it all by having a Badgers Thirsty Ferret Amber Ale. So cheers. Oh, that's nice. So I've gone back through and looked at some of the footage I've recorded so far today, and the new mics I bought, which were quite cheap. They had high ratings, but they weren't very expensive. I'm really unimpressed with the sound quality. You might have seen it so far during the recording. So they're going back, and if anyone's got any recommendations for some decent ones, I'm going to have to put some money into a decent microphone, I think. Otherwise, for the time being, I'm just going to be recording on my phone like I was doing. So at the garden centre, we found the absolute bargain of the mixed onion set, coming at £1.20, 70% off. And then the same with the shallots, mixed shallots, and they were 70% off as well. I thought we'll open them up, try roughly, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it with the shallots, organise them, but as you can see, they're starting to sprout, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it means we can get them into the ground. There's a couple of dud ones there, look. So we'll sort out the decent ones. Anything which is a bit gone too far, I think it's just one. The rest of them, I mean, the rest of them seem okay. So we just had one bad one out of the pack. Sorry, yeah, one bad one out of the pack. So we've got a tray of the shallots, and then we've got the onions. Let's have a look at these. So obviously there's a few more varieties in the onions. So we've got some red ones. That one looks a bit, doesn't look great. Let's try and separate them off. So got a section of red onion. Some white onions there. And I'm going to assume that we've got some standard silver skin onions there, and then some of these here look like pickle onions. Our tray of shallots, and then we've got the separated out trays of onions. I think we're going to plant these in rows in the veg patch, and then we can come back in a future video and see how these have taken. And we've got the raspberry early summer fruiting, so we won't get much off of this year, but it will come back every year. So it's bee friendly, tasty green bio, nature protects. And then as you look on here, even though it's a small plant, it is producing a few fruits already. So we get that out in the garden with some of the potash to give it a kickstart. And then we've got the raspberry, late fruiting autumn raspberry, and this one's a very healthy looking plant. It's got loads of smaller shoots coming out from the bottom, if you can see that. And also, I've just noticed, I didn't see these earlier, a few fruits on there as well coming up. So not expecting a lot of fruit this year, but I want to get them in the ground, get them established. And again, we'll come back to that in a future video. So let's get in the garden, get them planted out. We'll start by raking over some of this soil. The big bits you can see in here are just bits of old cardboard, because I lay a layer of cardboard over the soil during the winter months just to protect the soil and encourage the worms to come up. I think we'll start with the shallots at the front. Just obviously plant them with the root end down, like so. And I'm just planting them slightly apart from each other, like so, leaving the bulb protruding, and then we'll give them a good watering in after we put them all in the soil. Now in the UK, shallots are slightly more expensive than onions, but in general they're both quite a cheap crop to buy, but you can't beat the flavour of growing your own onions, so I still opt for planting my own as well as sourcing from the shop. This one I'm not too sure. I mean, it'd be worth having a go, so we'll stick him in the bottom there. But we've got enough for an extra row. So there's 3 rows there of the reduced shallot bulbs, and then behind it we're going to add the onions. We'll follow that with a row of the white ones. Plenty of room for 3 more rows of the golden skinned. So there's our rows of onions and shallots. Give them a good watering in. I've never bought reduced onions before, so it'd be interesting to come back and see how productive they are, or if we just wasted a couple of quid. But they're all watered in, you can clearly see the rows. Just going to get some refreshment, and then we'll put the raspberries out. We're going to plant the autumn raspberry at the back of this one. All these weeds out. So it says here, dig into planting hole for best results. It says a small handful. So that's what we're going to do, put some of that in there just to give the raspberry bushes a fighting chance. There's this is really good soil. I've been building this up over a few years with the compost bins, like I said earlier. So there should be plenty of nutrients in there, but just to make it a little bit better. Probably Shire's ball there. So that's the potash dug in to the soil. Like so. Make sure that's nice and compacted around the seed clump. And I'll just stick that there at the back. I bum down on this tire. I think we'll put the second raspberry in this corner here. I apologise about the neighbour's dog barking if you can hear that. It's not my dog, she's chilling in the garden. She does not bark. She might howl occasionally because she's half husky, but she's not a barking dog. I would just repeat the process with a liberal sprinkling of the potash. then we're going to put the summer can always keep these tubs and reuse them. I tend to store them in the shed, so a couple extra tubs, and then again just try and loosen up the root ball without tearing it up too much. There's a nice little shoot coming off the bottom there, and then put that in and surround it. Stick the summer crop guide there, and all that's left now is to give it a liberal watering. Give the lavender a little bit of a drink as well. Should have a bumper crop of blueberries this year, a few raspberries next year. But then hopefully we'll get a decent crop of raspberries I can share with you in future videos. So we've got the blueberries, some new raspberries, some strawberries, and who knows what will be placed in the garden next year. I think that sums up today's video. It's been a bit hit and miss with the recording. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do when it comes to the microphone. I'm sending back the one I got because I just wasn't happy with the sound quality. I also am aware that people are saying they can't hear me very well off of my phone, so I'll shop around. I'm sure I'll get on top of the sound. It's still early days for the channel. It's on my agenda. It's actually annoying me a little bit, if I'm honest. I'm not a perfectionist by any means. I just want it to be good. I just want it to be of a decent standard that A, people aren't saying like sort it out, and B, I can kind of sit back and say, all right, that's good enough. So thanks for watching. That was a random video based on what's going on in the garden, a little bit of my bank holiday Saturday, shared a little bit with my wife, got a few jobs done. I'm going to have a few more beers. I'm going to put my feet up. Next video is the 24-hour British Army ration menu 2. That's coming up. That'll be tomorrow. I think that's me done for this weekend, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of my bank holiday. Wednesdays is Weird Wednesdays with my daughter. Weird Wednesdays, Weird Foods with Weary Wolf reviews. Looking forward to that. I think we've got tinned canned crab. Yeah, gonna look into that. And then if you like this, give us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in future videos. Thanks for watching.